So yes, the Street Fighter 6 beta, it was a lot of fun. I'm sad it's over. Kind of have withdrawal symptoms now. I'm not really sure what to do. We can't play SF6 anymore. But yeah, it was a really good time. First of all, shout out to my boy Jack. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to play. I don't have a PS5 or a PC that can run it. So I literally packed up my suitcase, moved into his house for the weekend, and yeah, because of him, we were able to get the GGs in, and I can bring it to you guys. So shout outs to him. So there's a lot to talk about. My first impressions of the game was it's great. You know, the online and the netcode worked really well. I'm surprised how smoothly the experience actually went, you know, because on the first day there was a few issues apparently. I couldn't play until later in the first day of the beta, so I didn't really experience the lockouts that people were talking about, where they couldn't get in or they were getting kicked from the lobby and this kind of things. So, but it seemed like they ironed out those kinks very quickly, and then everyone, you know, could play pretty efficiently, which is really cool. Yeah, so first thing, once you get into the beta, you had to make your character. Now, I was really surprised just how many options there were and how much customization there actually was available. It was really cool. You know, you could just make a default character if you liked, you know, some kind of archetype that's already pre-selected. But I messed around with mine a little bit. You know, it wasn't anything too fancy, but if you look at some of the other characters you saw in the Battle Hub, people were going mad. You could like literally have massive shoulders, you know, big biceps and forearms looking like Hulk, and then on the bottom half you could be like really skinny. So there was a lot of interesting creations, I can't lie, but I like that kind of you know, that option. It gives you the ability to express yourself in that way. You know, a lot of people like that. It's just for fun as well. It's pretty cool. So I enjoyed seeing what people come up with. Now the Battle Hub itself was, you know, it was pretty cool. It was like nice just to run around. In fact, you can see everyone in the server and you can hang out and talk, or you can challenge people to games. I really like the way it worked as well, where you would sit down at a cabinet, like just like in the arcade back in the day. You know, you put your pound down and people would then challenge you, you know, and it was kind of to pay homage to that, I guess, and it did give that feel as well. It was pretty cool. Now, as I said, the connection felt great. I played people that were in America and it was fine. I played people in Europe and it felt fine. I didn't try anyone in Japan, but you know, just from the games that I played, the experience was really good. No games were really laggy at all, and that is a very promising sign. So imagine when the game comes out, if we're able to consistently play against Americans or Japanese players, do you know how much we will be able to level up and how much better like as an experience the game will be? It'll be crazy. Now, as for characters, I played mainly Kimberly and Jamie. I would say I played Kimberly the most, just because I played quite a lot of Jamie before the beta, you know, at different events, and you know, I really do like him. He's great, but Kimberly was still a bit new. I played her at EGX quite a lot, but you know, I just felt there was way more to explore with her in training mode, and you know, find all of her setups and set play and stuff like that. So I was really enjoying looking for that stuff, finding it, and then you know, trying it in matches. And on top of that, she just seems really good. Honestly, I think she might be a bit better than Jamie. One of the stronger characters in the beta for sure. At the end of the video, I'm going to give a little bit of a tier list and let you know who I think my top characters are, or my winners from the beta, let's call them. I will let you know towards the end of the video, but just know that Kimberly for sure is really good. Now, as for gameplay, I played a lot of games. I mainly played in the, so I didn't play ranked. I played probably 5 ranked matches, the placement matches. I think 6 actually. I lost 1 to Junior Leo, and then I beat him 2-1 overall, but I lost 1 placement match, but then I couldn't find any matches after that, which kind of sucked. So it meant that I couldn't really level up my my rank, and I just kind of stuck to playing on the cabinet, and people would join. And then also, you know, I had a WhatsApp group and I was arranging matches with people. I played like Problem X, I played him a lot of games. I played Rycroft as well, really sick jury. I played him a lot of games. I played quite a few other people as well. I played Angry Bird a few games, not Angry Bird, sorry, Big Bird. His Ken was doing a lot of things. You know, that match is up on my channel if you guys are interested, but he was doing some sick things with Ken, some of the best combos I've seen from the character. I was kind of blown away. Loops in the corner and all sorts. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, I think as for gameplay, I liked how the cabinet was set up. You know, you sit down in training mode, you're just doing your thing, and then someone will come and join. Like I said, very reminiscent of arcade days where someone will put the pound down and they're like, I'm next. And yeah, they sit down afterwards. and then you get the GGs in after that. So now, as for the mechanics, I just want to talk a little bit about how I think they work in the game, and how I think they kind of integrate with each other, and how it fits together. First of all, let's talk about drive impact. Now, I'm going to make a separate video for this, just because it's quite a big topic right now. A lot of people complain about it. A lot of people think it's too strong. A lot of people think that, oh, people just spam drive impact. So I'm going to make a separate video just going into the details of what I think about it and exactly how to beat it and why it's not quite as good as everyone's saying. I think right now it's going to be very strong just because people aren't ready, you know what I'm saying? It's like similar to, for example, when SF5 come out, everyone was complaining about jumps. It's like, oh, the jumps are too strong, you can't react, it's like they're not as floaty as they were in 4. Now, no one has any problems anti-airing in SF5, do they really? It's not really a problem. It's just when a game's new, you're focused on so many other things. You're trying to learn the character, you're trying to remember the strings, you're trying to remember what you're looking for in neutral, and it makes it much harder, even for anti-airing, it makes it much harder to do that because you're focused on many other things. Well, introduce a brand new mechanic on day -1 million. Obviously, not everyone's going to be ready to react right away. It just doesn't work like that. Over time, I'm sure that it will be much easier to react to, and I'm sure that it won't be as big a problem as people are making it out to be. Even in the beta, I found it quite easy. If I was doing my string and they did wake up, I'm doing my pressure, they did wake up, drive impact, it's very easy to react. You have, you can hit, they can absorb 2 buttons, you still have time to see it, and then press your one. You know what I'm saying? So as the game progresses, it's going to get even harder to do that. You're going to really have to pick your spots and use it effectively. Also, it works very well with the other mechanics. For example, drive rush. Now, I think drive rush will probably be the most used mechanic. It gets you good pressure off of your pokes. It gets you good damage off of your pokes as well. So you can go from neutral to in their face and your plus, and then you can mix them up, for example. It's really good for that. You can approach very quickly, just parry, drive rush in, and then you can do, for example, with Karen, what I was doing a lot is drive rush in, crouch medium kick, and on a hit, you get a stand fierce, which is crazy. It's +9, you get a stand fierce, crazy damage that's can lead into her more damaging combos. And then on block, it's +5. So that means that even if they block it, I get a chance to mix them up. And don't forget, it's a low as well. So if they're walking backwards from far away, I can clip their toes, get a combo, go into super, whatever it may be. So yeah, really strong. Now, the thing is, with her crouch medium kick, you could then drive rush, you could then drive impact that because it's only 1 hit. So if you predict it and you do it early enough, I can't cancel that into a drive impact. So they kind of counter each other, right? But then what I could do is I could drive rush in and I could do crouch medium punch, and that one I can cancel. So then I could cancel that into my drive impact, for example, and it kind of works like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of a mix up there. Same with the drive rush overheads. They're very, very strong. Plus on block, some of them, and also you get a combo on hit. So you can, if you know they're going to sit there, you can drive rush in, overhead them, and you get a full combo. For Oki as well, as they're waking up, it's a good option to mix them up. Karen, I'll say calling her Karen already. Kimberly, for example, like I said, her crouch medium kick off the drive rush is very strong. But then say if I approach as they're waking up, and I have the mix up between doing that, and I can do the overheads, and if I do the overhead, I get a full combo as well. Well, now that's looking pretty dangerous. But drive impact will blow up the overhead. So that's one way to look at it. I was using it like that. So if I thought they were going to overhead me on wake up from the drive rush, then I'd wake up drive impact and that would win, and you get a full combo. So it's quite cool the way the mechanics work together. And and the fact that drive impact counters itself as well means that you always have the chance to react with your one, which is really, really cool. Now, I think the mechanic that actually will be used more and more, I didn't see it as much in the beta, but I was trying to use it quite a lot myself, is drive reversal. Now, this game can be very oppressive. The better players I was playing, it definitely felt tough when you were locked down, when they were, especially you can do a string, and then they drive rush in afterwards and they're plus again, and now I've got to take another mix up. These kind of situations, drive reversal is essential. You'll need it to get people off of you, especially in the corner, because imagine you're in the corner, they can drive impact at any time, and you're gonna, you'll get wall splatted. So it means you have to be very wary of that. you know, and then also you don't really want to sit there for too long blocking too much and giving them chances to mix you up. So it's very, very good for that. Now, one thing I do want to touch on is mediums in this game. They work very different. It's crouching medium kick, for example, with Kimberly was +1, but all of our other medium buttons, medium crouching medium punch, that was -1. Crouch, standing medium punch, that was -2, I believe, or -1, I can't remember, but they were minus. So it's not like in SF5 or Street Fighter 4 where you could, do medium punch pressure, where you're like crouch medium punch, walk forward, stagger, crouch medium punch. You can't really do that in this game. They don't really work the same. And in fact, a lot of the light buttons were minus as well. I think the only button that Kimberly had that was plus on block, she had 2. It was stand hard kick, +2, which is really good. You get a combo on hit, and on punish counter you get a stand fierce as well, so you get a really, really good combo. It's good for punishes. And her crouching medium kick. And her crouching medium kick on hit, you can get jabs after, which is good, so you can confirm it. On counter hit, you can get mediums, and then also on block it's +1, so it's still your turn, and you can, mix them up from there. But that was it. There was no, so it's not going to be the same where you can walk forward and, stagger. Technically, after you press crouch medium punch, your turn's over. And I'm pretty sure it worked the same with a lot of other characters. Just medium punches medium buttons aren't as plus as they used to be. So people obviously aren't used to it yet. So people were still kind of playing like it's SF5 and, staggering and like walking forward and using it like it's plus. But that won't last very long. And it's definitely going to change the way the game works, especially when you throw in the fact that there's parry. Because say, for example, I press crouch medium punch, I'm -1, and I know they're going to press a button afterwards, and I can steal a turn with parry. I get perfect parry, I steal a turn, you know what I'm saying? But then they can bait that, and it's risky, because if I whiff a parry and then they hit the recovery, then they get a punish counter, they get bare damage, and it's it's going to create a lot of interesting mind games. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Obviously, we didn't have enough time to really flesh it out to its full. It was just, we were just pressing buttons that we thought would work in the beta, to be honest, and kind of experimenting. But it'll be really cool when it comes out to see how that develops. I think it will be very, very interesting. Now, one thing we have to talk about is burnout. Now, burnout, I think, it is peak. You do not want to be in burnout. It has so many downsides to it. It's kind of crazy. We found out recently that you take extra block stun while you're in burnout, so that means pressure becomes scarier. Now any medium button they press is plus, so it goes back to Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 4, etc., where now you can stagger medium punches and you got to take it, and then they can really apply pressure. Also, you take chip damage, crazy chip damage versus level 3s. It does a lot. I saw a video of a Ken do his level 3 while someone was in burnout. It took off like 25%. That's a lot of chip. On top of that, you move slower, which makes it harder to play footsies, and you have no defense whatsoever. No access to drive moves. Means you can't stop people from drive rushing in. You can't do anything about drive impact. You could neutral jump or try and jump back or something, but it's it becomes much, much, much harder to deal with drive impact. So it means you can't really pressure, because if I say, for example, I try and go up to you and do tap tap into button, what's to stop you from pressing drive impact? There's literally no threat really from me, or not much threat at all. Unless I've got level 3 and I'm trying to bait it, that would be quite a big brain play, but it's very difficult to deal with. You can just kind of do drive impact at any time, and they can't really do much about it. So it means that you therefore can't really apply pressure, but then you also can't really stop them from applying pressure as well. So you get what I'm saying? So it then becomes people trying to just stay away. I mean, if I'm ever in burnout, I'm trying to just maintain distance. I don't want you near me. I'm not trying to get too close to you. I'll just press buttons to keep you out, stab me and just I'll poke you to keep you out and stay. I'm trying to wait for my bar to recover. That's my game plan. Not trying to go in too hard, not trying to let you apply too much pressure, but burnout is not great. It's not good at all. You want to try and avoid it as much as possible. Obviously, at the moment, people are putting themselves in burnout as well, just because they're not managing their meter properly. They're not really sure what's optimal yet. And I was doing it myself, whereas I wasn't fully aware of how much gauge I had, and I did a combo that put me in burnout. I'm like, oh damn, I shouldn't have done that. I should have ended the combo like this. I should have ended the combo like this. Just to save. Avoid burnout at any cost, basically. That would be my advice for sure. Now, some of you might have been waiting for, I'm going to go into how I would rate the characters. It's going to be a little rough tier list, just of the characters I played against. Now, who I think is the strongest right now in the game and who I think might be a little weak. It's not going to be like a literal tier list where I have the characters on one of those charts or whatever. I'm just going to give a little, my thoughts on each character. So let's start with the strongest characters in the game. I think the strongest characters are Guile, Chun-Li, and Kimberly. Yeah, I think those three, for me, really stuck out. Guile seems kind of broken, I'm not going to lie. His neutral is insane. And on top of that, he does crazy damage. I think any character in this game with good neutral is going to really flourish. And the reason for that is because it's a much more neutral heavy game than SF5, for example. SF5 was a bit more about robberies. I think SF6 is more about the neutral. Obviously, you can still get Oki and everything. But neutral is played more often, I feel, than in previous game. In the previous game, let's say SF5. So Guile's neutral is very strong. Obviously, he's got Sonic Boom. I think the recovery is very, very silly. Say, for example, you try to drive impact through, he has time to do his own drive impact, so there's going to be a lot of that. But his keep out is very strong. Flash kick charges, it feels like the charge is just like non-existent. So if you jump a lot of Sonic Booms, you'll get flash kicked, One thing about it doesn't seem to autocorrect as good as it did before, so that's one good thing. Maybe there is an angle where you can kind of take advantage of it. But yeah, his keep out game seems very, very strong. Not only that, but then he now has access to all of the same drive mechanics every other character does. So that means he can, shimmy, stand hard punch, drive rush and get like 50%, He can do drive rush in overhead and get like 50% if you don't block it, Imagine walking in, blocking booms, and then suddenly he drive rushes in overhead, half your health's gone. You see, that's quite strong, especially as because you're going to be losing drive gauge the whole time you're blocking Sonic Booms, this kind of thing. If you neutral jump, he can like drive rush in an anti-air, you get a combo, these kind of things. He seems really, really good. And his buttons are crazy as well. Upside down kick reaches like full screen. Like on punish counter, you get a combo. He gets, combo off his level 1 in the corner into EX flash kick. He's got a lot of tools, and I think he will be a big problem, I'm not gonna lie. Now Chun-Li as well, similar thought process is that her neutral is really good and her pokes are really good, so any characters I said with good neutral is gonna do well. Not only are her pokes good, but she gets really, really good damage off them as well now because of the stance, so she can do like stand fierce, cancel that, get a combo, these kind of things. She does really good damage just off of her, normal BMBs, and yeah, so great walk speed on top of that. And her fireball has no recovery as well, similar to Guile's Sonic Boom. Not quite as good, but she can throw a lot of them very quickly. And she, so like the charge time isn't that much. And also it has no recovery. So yeah, she's looking like a very strong character too. Now Kim, I think as well, is really strong. Like I said, her buttons are great damage off of her buttons, this kind of thing. I think she does great damage meterless as well. Also the fact that she can combo off of her throw. I'm not sure if this is going to stay in the game because it's a bit cheap, I think. I think they might remove this. But if she sets up the bomb and she throws you, she gets a full combo. So now it's not even like you can take the throw, you know what I mean? In this game, I think it will be a similar kind of mindset to 5, where, a lot of times you're just going to take the throw because you don't want to get shimmied and get punish countered and lose 50%, for example. That does seem a bit strong because now she can throw you and still get 50%. You see, so there's no real lesser of two evils. It's just that you're kind of messed up in both situations. So that's kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. On top of that, her set play just seems really strong. She's got some really cool stuff like the Shuriken bomb. Like I said in previous videos, I think she's like a mix between Karen and Ibuki, which is a terrifying combination because Karen's got the great pokes, Ibuki's got the fierce mix-ups. So yeah, I think that's why she is also one of the strongest characters in the game. Now just below that, I think we're going to have characters like Jamie. I think Jamie, Ryu, Ken, from my experience in the beta at least, I think they're just under those characters. Ryu does a lot of damage, man. His zoning's really good as well. I think zoning in this game is just going to be really good. But he's really, really strong character. Ken as well does a lot of damage, really, got some good mix-ups, and he's very quick. Off of his pokes, he can get a lot of damage too. He seems cool. Jamie, like I said, when he's leveled up, he's amazing. I think his crouch medium kick as well is crazy good. I just think in certain matchups he might struggle a bit, like for example versus Guile, as I mentioned earlier, it's much harder to drink, getting around the Sonic Boom, this kind of thing might prove some difficulty. But again, I do think he is very strong. Actually, you know what? Let me amend that, because I think Jury might be above all 3 of those characters because she seems kind of busted as well. Yeah, her dash is probably one of the fastest. Her drive rush goes full screen in like the blink of an eye. It's crazy. And yeah, she can drive rush in very quickly, put you in block stun. She's plus, take the mix up. You know, very, very, very good damage. I think probably some of the highest damage combos I saw from any character. She is, yeah, just from a stray hit, she'll do 60%, just easy. Yeah, very, very damaging combos from her. She seems really, really good. A very impressive character. I think she'll be very strong. Maybe I'll put her in that tier with the characters I mentioned before, like Kyle, Chun-Li, Kimberly. I think they're all kind of in that bubble. Then under that, I put like kind of Ken, Ryu, Jamie, and then Luke. I didn't really see much from Luke, so it's hard for me to say, but you know, I'm sure he's good. I think everyone is good. There's no one that was really bad in the beta. No one really struggled too much. I don't think anyone was really like, yeah, oh, this guy needs to be buffed. You know what I'm saying? Everyone seemed pretty good. So I mean, that's a good sign of balancing. So hopefully it stays like that. We'll see as more characters come out in the future. You know, what they do and how they balance it. But at the moment, everyone seems good, which is a good sign. And you know, what makes a good game is, or what makes for a well-balanced game is balanced mechanics that everyone has access to. For example, if you look at Tekken, very well-balanced game, but it's like everyone has access to, you know, universal things that make the game. So it's about having strong mechanics in the game. Whereas if you look at Street Fighter 5, you know, not everyone has a good V trigger. Not everyone has a good V skill. Not everyone can use, like Nikali, for example, can't really use V shift or you know, V reversal as much because he's trying to save the bar for like his V trick. These kind of things are same with SF4. You know, not everyone had a great focus attack. Not everyone could use red focus like at all. You know, so when you have strong game mechanics that benefit everyone the same, that's when the game will be more balanced, I feel. Cool. So closing thoughts. That was a bit of a longer video, but yeah, I just really wanted to get everything out, like all my thoughts on the game and what I think about the state of it at the moment. And to be honest, I'm loving it, man. I don't think they've missed yet, Capcom. I think they're doing a really, really good job. Everyone seems happy. The reception for the game is great. And honestly, I'm really, really looking forward to when it comes out and we can all get our hands on it and, you know, the GGs just can begin from there, to be honest. Yeah, the fact you can play people from America, Europe, and the connection is fine. Great netcode from my experience. You know, people running tournaments in the beta as well. The Battle Hub seems really cool. Character creation seems really cool. The one thing I didn't try is the Extreme Battle. But, you know, I like the fact that it adds extra spice to the game, something that Street Fighter has never really seen before as well, which is cool. But yeah, nothing but positive things to say about it, to be honest. The one issue, maybe one concern I had was the fact that drive rush overhead could be a bit strong. You know, the fact that it's like, okay, so they drive rush in, they mix me up, overhead, low, I could lose 50%. That could be quite scary in the future. We'll see how that develops and how people flesh it out. But honestly, other than that, man, I had, like, in terms of like the actual way the game was made and like the product itself, I have no issues whatsoever. Just they've done nothing but hit. And yeah, kudos to Capcom for really delivering on this one. I really think this game is gonna bring a lot of people, you know, newcomers as well as old heads that maybe don't play 5 anymore. But it's gonna attract a lot of attention. I think it's gonna be more popular than SF4, for example, which kind of, you know, revitalized the FGC and kind of brought so much, breathed so much life and energy into it. I think this is going to be another one of those games, man. And I'm really excited for it. So yeah, that's going to be about it from me. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, a lot of love and support from you guys at the moment, and I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to be bringing out more content like this. Anything SF6, I'm going to be on it. If there's a chance to play it, I'm going to be there. So don't worry, I'll be giving you that SF6 action you guys want. So yeah. But other than that, that's it from me. Peace.